What's up guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you haven't noticed by the title already, for today's video I'm going to be showing you how I paint grayscale to color. I love this method because 1, it speeds up my painting process, and 2, you can easily experiment with different color variations, and also this method helps you focus on one task at a time, so you don't feel overwhelmed while figuring out the coloring and shading at the same time.
It means setting small, reasonable goals for yourself, one day at a time. One tiny step at a time.
Baby steps.
Right now you'll see I'm using Procreate, but this tutorial will work for any digital drawing software, so feel free to use whatever you'd like and follow along. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now assuming you did your sketch, you finished your drawing, it's fully rendered in Grayscale, we're going to go ahead and experiment with the layer modes. So go to the top and open up the layers, and you'll see that I organized mine a bit. But you know, if you're messy, do you. So we're gonna go ahead and create a layer, and then we're gonna choose a random color. And then we're just gonna fill the page. And then I'm gonna go to the layer modes, and as you see while I'm swiping through them, they all react differently. And even you can change the opacity. So basically you're gonna be doing a lot of this throughout the grayscale to color process. Also, another method you can use to change the color, you can go ahead and copy your canvas, paste it so everything's on one layer, and then if you go to your adjustments and click gradient map, you'll then see that you have a bunch of presets of color variations at the bottom. You can create new ones or just scroll through these ones, and then you'll see it adds color to your canvas. For me personally, I don't use the gradient map that often, so we're just going to stick to the layer modes. So now moving on to painting the skin. So you can either just get your brush and freehand it over the area, or if you are organized with your layers, you can go ahead and select the area that you need to fill. So you see that I'm scrolling down to where my flats are, and I want to get this skin tone color on the full body, so I'm going to click this layer, click select, and you want to make sure that the color fill at the bottom is clicked off when you're on that layer. Now that it's selecting that area, you're going to scroll back up on your layers, and at the very top where you created that new layer, click the layer and click fill layer, and then it should fill it like this. And like I said before, just adjusting the layer modes. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna adjust the opacity a bit, and then I'm gonna zoom in and just clean up this area with the hair because it's kind of, you know, it doesn't look right there. And at these early stages, it's normal for your colors to look dull, so don't mind that. Next, I'm gonna do the clothing. So basically just following that same step of going down to your flat layers, selecting it, and then filling it above. Or like I said before, you can freehand it or whatever. But I'm basically just gonna be speeding through that process of each part. So the clothing, the wings, the background, etc. Sort of in the middle of this coloring stage, you'll notice that I created a new layer and filled it with this light blue color, and then setting it to overlay and adjusting opacity. This I wanted to use as a sample of how I wanted the colors to actually look in the end. I often find myself just randomly changing up my idea, so if you're very indecisive like me, this would actually help a lot. So it's just like how I said, regardless of the color choices you make, you can always easily change it by just putting a filled layer on top. So it's kind of just like combining a bunch of filters on a grayscale painting. And then you'll see here once I'm moving on to the jewelry, on a new layer I'm adding in some highlights that I feel like I missed in the grayscale painting. Also, you'll notice when I'm painting the lips, I'm not only just using layer modes and opacity, I'm also using the adjustments. So and then clicking the adjustments button at the top left, and then going to hue, saturation, and brightness. And you'll see you'll have these bars at the bottom with the, hue, saturation, and brightness. And just adjusting those, that's another easy way to change up your colors. So now moving on to the final touches. This is the stage where I add in the glow effects and the final highlights. So with the soft brush, I'm gonna paint in where I want it to glow and change the layer mode to either add or color dodge. And then of course the light source coming from above, we're just gonna add on to those light rays I already have in the grayscale painting. And then lastly, enhancing the highlights on our character and like the wings and stuff. So just making it more dramatic.
What we do here is go back.
And then lastly, just one more adjustment with this filled layer. And there we have it, we're done. Great, and that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the process. If you have any questions or suggestions, please be sure to leave it down in the comments below. And also don't forget to subscribe so you can stay updated for the next YouTube video. Peace out, guys.